Ali al-Batran, less than 1 month old, fought for his life on Monday at a hospital in Gaza, where severe cold in the enclave's second winter of the war has added to the suffering of displaced Palestinians. His twin brother Gemma died of hypothermia in the family's makeshift tent at an encampment in central Gaza. Doctors say he's one of several Palestinians who have died of exposure and cold in recent days. Reuters spoke to his father, Yahya al-Batran.
It was 3 a.m. I woke up and asked my wife why she was up, and she said that she has been trying to wake up Gemma for an hour, but he is not waking up. And I ask about Ali, and she says he too is not waking up. I started tapping them like that and said, "Oh no." I held Gemma. He was white and freezing as snow. Go see him. Like ice, frozen. I carried him and rushed out.
His brother Ali was in the intensive care unit at the Al-Aqsa Martyrs Hospital. His doctor said he is in critical condition.
The Gaza Strip is gravely suffering as a result of the winter season. There are around 2 million people in Gaza living in worn-out tents.
The death of Gemma shows how severe the situation facing vulnerable families remains. Nora al-Batran is Gemma's mother.
Since I'm an adult, I may take this and endure it. But what did the young one do to deserve this? He cannot endure hunger. He cannot endure the cold nor this hopelessness. We call on anybody and everybody that can help us to please do and end this war.
According to Palestinian health officials, Israel's campaign against Hamas in Gaza has killed more than 45,500 Palestinians and turned the enclave into a wasteland of rubble and destroyed buildings. The war was triggered by a Hamas attack on southern Israel on October 7, 2023, in which 1,200 people were killed and 251 taken to Gaza as hostages, according to Israeli tallies.
A South Korean court approved the arrest of impeached President Yoon Suk-yeol Tuesday over his short-lived decision to impose martial law earlier this month. It's the first time an arrest warrant has been issued against a president of South Korea. It's the latest turn in what's become the key U.S. ally's deepest political crisis in decades. Investigators allege Yoon led an insurrection, one of the few charges for which a South Korean president does not have immunity. The arrest warrant was issued by the CIO, or South Korea's Corruption Investigation Office for high-ranking officials, and was approved by a district court in Western Seoul. Yoon's lawyer Yoon Gap-gun spoke to media on Tuesday, arguing the warrant against his client is invalid.
I question whether the issuance of such an illegal warrant aligns with the principles of the rule of law. It is our position that this unlawful arrest warrant request is illegal and invalid. The declaration of martial law is a power granted to the president under the Constitution. The president exercised this authority legitimately as part of their duty to protect the constitutional order of the nation.
Yoon had already ignored summons for questioning 3 times since his martial law declaration. His supporters rallied outside his residence on Tuesday as they faced off with his critics, which included Jinbo Party lawmaker Chon Jun-dong.
Even regarding this arrest warrant, Yoon Suk-yeol, who is being accused of treason, claims that it is illegal and refuses to acknowledge it. Therefore, it's imperative today to ensure that this arrest warrant is executed and that this individual accused of treason faces legal consequences.
In a statement, South Korea's Presidential Security Service said it will treat the arrest warrant according to due process. Previously, the service had blocked police attempts to raid the presidential office as part of an investigation. Meanwhile, Yoon's impeachment trial is underway at South Korea's Constitutional Court. The next hearing in that case is set for Friday. When Yoon declared martial law on December 3rd, he mentioned anti-state forces were among his political opponents. He revoked it hours later after lawmakers defied him. Prime Minister Han Duck-soo had taken over from Yoon as acting president, but he too was impeached on Friday.
Holding elections in Syria could take several years, the country's de facto leader Ahmed al-Shara has said in his first comments on a possible electoral timetable since Bashar al-Assad was ousted early in December. In an interview with the Saudi state-owned broadcaster Al Arabiya, broadcast on Sunday, Shara said it would take about a year for Syrians to see drastic changes after the fall of Assad family rule and the end of 13 years of civil war.
Election infrastructure in Syria at this time is ailing. It needs rebuilding. Today we are talking about the displacement of more than 15 million people from Syria, between displaced and refugees. Most do not have a fixed registration. No one knows what the population of Syria is today. Drafting a new constitution or making amendments will take experts a long time, maybe 2 or 3 years. God knows.
Shara leads the Hayat Tahrir al-Sham group that toppled Assad. It was once affiliated with Islamic State and Al-Qaeda, but has since renounced both. And the new government has sought to reassure Syrians and neighbouring countries that it has left Islamist militancy behind. Still, it remains unclear whether it will impose strict Islamic rule or move towards democracy. Shara said HTS, formerly known as the Nusra Front, would be dissolved at a national dialogue conference.
A country cannot be run with the mentality of groups and factions. Since we were in Idlib, we've been ready for this, psychologically and morally.
Shara and other officials have repeatedly vowed to protect Syria's many minority groups.
We will build a state, not export revolution. I've said we want to manage this phase with a state mentality, not a revolutionary one.
While Western and regional powers welcomed the fall of Assad, it has raised questions about the future of a multi-ethnic country where foreign states, including Turkey and Russia, have strong and potentially competing interests.
Driverless cars are already on Chinese roads. This robo-taxi is plying the streets of the central city of Wuhan, which has moved fast to adopt the technology. Now Beijing wants to catch up. On Tuesday, the capital unveiled new rules meant to encourage autonomous driving there. State media say vehicles that pass road tests and safety assessments will be allowed to apply for trials in the city. The regulations take effect from April 1st. And the eventual goal is to get driverless buses and taxis roaming the streets. There will also be moves to develop intelligent road infrastructure to support such transport. Chinese authorities have been aggressively green-lighting trials of self-driving tech around the country. At least 19 cities are now conducting trials of robo-taxis and robo-buses. On Monday, Wuhan said it had adopted new rules meant to promote the development of intelligent connected transport. Big players in the field include Apollo Go, a subsidiary of tech giant Baidu. It had set a goal of deploying 1,000 robo-taxis in Wuhan by the end of 2024. Rival Pony AI aims to roughly quadruple its driverless cab fleet by 2026. Meanwhile, Tesla hopes to bring its so-called full self-driving tech to China in early 2025, and has said it will start making its own robo-taxis the following year.